you so much for joining us. Okay, we are live now. We are live. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Thank you for always believing in this vision. Thank you for believing in this dream, and then thank you for always supporting us. I want to welcome everybody to this event. Thank you so much. I can see everybody on the chat box. Okay, I think I can. Okay, we have Alex, Nothing. We have Jumoke, we have Aderele Meshak, we have Anek and Abasi Uwat, we have Chinedu, we have Prof K, Olakunle Joshua, we have Oluborode, we have Samuel. Thank you so much for joining us, and then we hope before the end of this event, we have more people join us. And then this is the first edition this year. This is the first edition this year, and then last year was great with everybody, with your support and all of those things you provided for us, your moral support, your moral support, and every of those things you provided in the last year. So, and also we want to appreciate our team members, Jumoke, Samuel, Azan, Meshak, yeah, and myself too. So thank you so much for making yourself available for this program, and to inspire African youths all over the world and some other people who are across the globe. Okay, Jumoke, can I hear from you? Can I have a short intro from you too, Jumoke?
Yeah, thank you guys for another edition. Thank you for joining us. We are glad to have you here. For some reasons, we could not have one in January, but we thank God we are kickstarting now, and we hope for a very good and beautiful and productive year. We hope to have so many things to learn from one another, and we hope to have great hosts coming around, guests coming around to, to impact knowledge to us. And we hope that with everything we learn, we can make them put them to good use and have testimonies to share, with one another of these success stories. So I look forward to having a beautiful year with you guys, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Jumoke, for that wonderful introduction. That was a great one. Samuel Anyoleye, who is a PhD candidate in the US. I think he's online now. Samuel, can we have a short intro from you before we fully kickstart?
Hi everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Samuel. We can hear you.
Oh, okay. Hi everyone. It's nice to be here. My name is Sam Anyoleye. As Olaolu has said, I recently started my PhD here in the United States. It's so nice to be here, and I'm really glad to be part of this great initiative. So what we are just trying to do is to pass the message across regarding the importance of forestry, forestry and the associated fields. And today we have Alex Onotunji, who is a great guy doing well in this field, to tell us about the status of forestry education in Africa. So I don't really have much to say. I just wanted to say hello and to keep you guys hope alive, you are in forestry, and forestry is a great field. And I'm very sure you will do well. And I wanted to kind of make use of all the information we are trying to share with you guys. I hope you enjoy the program today, and I wish you all the best. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Samuel. And right now, I would like to welcome my great friend, Meshak. Meshak, a quick intro from you two before we kickstart.
Yeah. Hi, guys. My name is Meshak Aderele. What am I say for who am I? Okay. I am doing my MSc at the Nigerian Defense Academy, Kaduna, where I study environmental management, of course, which is a branch of forestry. Okay, we are doing this to ensure that the forestry career is a desirable career, so that a lot of people come into this and they leverage on the opportunities that it has to present. Okay. Over here, one thing I noticed is when we wrote our exams, I observed that almost everything we're doing in the Department of Geography, they were all forestry. They were all forest related. Every of the environmental problems, solutions to them, the environmental psychology, every of those things, they were all around forestry. So my exam was a sweet ride for me. So you can see how much that someone could go on and branch. I'm like the top guy in my department now because I knew almost everything that they're doing already. Like I'm like the top guy there. So and I appreciate that. So just leverage on this. A lot is coming. A lot is coming. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Meshach, for that. And then that was a great one from you. And once again, we want to sincerely appreciate everybody for joining us. Thank you for believing in this vision. Thank you for believing in this dream. You know, I know we are conquering the world, and we are passing the message of forestry across to so many people across the world. So thank you so much for joining us. And Jumi, please, I want you to help us note the questions when they drop on the chat box. Please, I want to crave our indulgence to please use the chat box. Let us interact. Let us network, because that is one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons why we have ourselves here, so that we can network, we can connect. I think you understand. All right. This event is currently live. Please feel free to share the YouTube link and the invite link with your friends too. Okay, right now to the introduction. Mesha, can you please bring on Alex?
All right. Where do I start to introduce Alex now? I don't know where to start from.
Yeah, I think he can do the introduction himself, because
let me just do small. Let me just do small. Okay. I met Alex. Our first physical contact should be in Ghana at the ISA Northern African Regional Meeting. Okay, where I contested with him in a paper presentation and I beat him very flat. Okay, Alex, do you remember? I dealt with you.
I did see the picture today.
Okay. All right. So Alex is a great guy and he has motivation for success. Okay. Another thing I know about Alex is excellence. I told Alex to send me a few documents to check in something. I'm like, no. I now see the secret to the success of this guy is very excellent and very apt at what he does. So he will do the further introduction of himself. So that's the little I can say about him. Okay, and we go ahead from there. There's a lot about him that I can't even put in my head. All right, Alex, let's have you.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody. My name is Alex Onotunji. It is a very great opportunity and privilege to be here this morning, and I count it a great honor because this is what I've been doing and what I like to do. But most importantly, on this large platform, sitting with colleagues, sitting with people in top positions, sitting with people who come from different places far and wide. Everybody left their schedules. Even some people are in different countries with a little bit of far time zone, but yet they still showed up. I want to say thank you, and I want to welcome us. The host sent me some question earlier on the current state of forestry education. He requested me to share my experiences and the rest. So I would share my slide where I have tried to answer most of all the questions he sent to me earlier, but there will still be time for question and answer. Please, I want to be sure if you can hear me.
Yeah, please go ahead, Alex. Please go ahead.
Okay. Can you also see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Alex Bimbo Onotunji, and I'm going to be talking on the current state of forest education in Africa from a youth perspective. And this is the Nigeria Forestry Students and Graduates Roundtable session. on February 27, 2021. Oh, this is the flyer of the program. And for the outlook, I'll be talking about my African heritage and self-introduction. And Mr. Adetula asked me to tell my forestry story till date. I made an attempt in this PowerPoint. Then what does forestry education mean in the real sense, the right and the wrong perspective? My personal take on forestry education in Nigeria and Africa at large. Then valuable opportunities forestry education presents to students and graduates, as well as how to position yourself for the right perspective in forest education. Then he also requested that someone who has experienced forestry in Africa and Europe, what do I think are some of the gaps to fill? I go on. And to me, the only man I envy is a man who has not yet been to Africa, for he has so much to look forward to. That was Richard Mullin, and I'm very happy to always use this quote. Thank you. Welcome, Mr. Uyi. When I wrote the article, The Africa with Desire for Forestry Students, and I found this quote, I was like, wow. So if you have not been to Africa, this is a warm welcome for you to be. I am Alex Bimbo Notunji. I was born and grew up in Oyo State, Nigeria. I had my Bachelor of Forestry and Wildlife at the University of Ilorin, Nigeria. I also had my National Diploma in Wood and Paper Technology at the Federal College of Forestry, Jericho, Ibadan. College of Forestry, Jericho, Ibadan is one of the foremost colleges of forestry in Africa. And also the University of Ilorin, though a recent University offering forestry program, but we are trying our best to move the department forward. And I want to thank our lecturers too. I have seen Dr. Mrs. Sadiku here on this platform. You're welcome. I personally strongly believe in the African dream. And there's a slogan which the African Union adopted for the African vision for 2050 or 2060, which says the Africa we desire, and that Africa problem can best be solved by Africans themselves. About me, I take on many flag or many feather, but nonetheless, I quickly just, this is myself. I'm a student at the International Erasmus Master's Program in Mediterranean Forestry and Natural Resources Management at the University of Lleida here in Spain. Also, I am a consultant for the Young African Forestry Professionals Publication Project. And this project, we are writing success stories of young foresters in Africa who have made some impact in their field. And we have about 250 nominations, and we have reviewed applications from about 25 countries in Africa. Not only myself, we have other team members, and we are currently writing a book which is almost 80% done on careers in forestry in Africa. And by the time this book will be available, it will be available in PDF and in hard copy. So each university in Africa should be able to receive a copy. And also, I'm the IFSA coordinator for the Joint IFRO-ISA Task Force on Forest Education. As the IFSA coordinator, I'm also part of the IFRO and Life Board, like the top 20 out of about 400 officials in IFRO. So this is a great privilege. And lately, I was nominated as a member to the African Forestry and Wildlife Commission Working Group on Forest and Wildlife Education and Profession in Africa at the FAO AFWC Secretariat in Ghana. I had to make a disclaimer here. Every text on this slide only represents my own personal view and does not represent any of these organizations. So please take note. My career, my forestry story to date, I made an attempt. So I divided it into two, my career choice, and the second attempt is my leadership experience. And around 2010 or before then, my father asked me a question. He said, why not study to be a medical doctor? I replied him, I said, no, I don't want to be a medical doctor. I don't like to see blood. See, today I still don't like to see blood. Then at my high school graduation, I had a lofty dream of studying my desired course in the university At that point in time, there was this, we always put wire, battery, bulb together to make some lighting in the night. I came from a village or from a rural area, so electricity was not really, we have electricity, but not so much. But as a small child or small sharp, even in secondary school, I like playing with something electronics, putting on lights and all the rest. So I said, okay, let me go and study electrical engineering in the university. And also I had a bad motive too. While I was in the secondary school, some of my friends, some of our classmates, colleagues had girlfriends. So I was not fortunate to get one, or maybe I never searched thoroughly. So one of my plan was, oh, let me go to the university and go and find a girlfriend. But God, who knows the best, redirected my path. I didn't get admission into the university, and I never had that girlfriend. So why I put this information there is that in all our endeavors, we should try to seek God, because sometimes things may not always go the way we want it, and God has a way of directing our step. In 2011, I wrote a UTME and I passed the electrical engineering cutoff. The post-UTME examination came in. I did not reach the minimum post-UTME exam for the electrical engineering and was not admitted into any program at the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta. Then other multiple admission came in. I was admitted to Federal College of Education, Oshiele, to Lautech to run a pre-degree program, and to College of Forestry, Ibadan, to study National Diploma in Wood and Paper Technology. So I accepted the Wood and Paper Technology in 2011, and I graduated in 2013. In 2014 again, I was stubborn a bit. Instead of continuing with my forestry, I wanted something else. So I applied to the University of Ilorin, and I applied with both UTME and direct entry. For my UTME, I applied to computer and information science, because one of the things I saw on the website of the university was every student in that department has to have a computer. So I want to have my computer and I want to keep pressing computer. So I picked that course. Then also for the direct entry, my dad just all of a sudden just one day said, oh, Alex, why not make an attempt to apply for the direct entry into forestry? I was like, oh, I am not sure if my certificate from the college would allow me in, because didn't tell you lie. As at the time I was in the college, I was just trying my best not to fail, so that my parents' money will not be wasted, or I will not waste the 2 years. But I was not aiming at any form of excellence. I am one of the students that, yes, I go to lectures. I may not write notes. Thank to people like Akintola, Akinyemi, Akinropo. It is Ropo that will give me notebook that I will read, and sometimes I will start my own reading like maybe less than a week to the exam or so. So I don't know how I managed to pass, but I did pass. So I had a lower credit at the college. So I was thinking maybe no university will be able to accept me. But I want to use this medium that, yes, don't limit yourself. Why not try? Then even if you don't get it, you know you made it try. So I made a trial and I was admitted into forestry for my direct entry. I was admitted into primary education study for my university. So I was like, wow, it seems I don't have any other place to go aside forestry. So in 2014, I was offered to study Bachelor's of Forestry and Wildlife at the University of Ilorin, but I was confused on what the future holds. And now I was as confused as those who were given the course freshly, those who don't have a direct entry experience like mine, because we just don't know what are we going to use this forestry degree for. My father oftentimes jokes with me and be like, oh, Ashokbo, somebody like a forest guard and all the rest. So I sometimes I accept with him. So from confusion to career, then I met a lecturer in the department one day. That was about 2 months or 3 months into my resumption into the university. This man is not so tall, so let me say he's short a little bit in terms of height, and was not putting on his ID card, because in uni learning you have to put on your ID card almost many times. So he was not putting on the ID card in terms of the lilac. He was just hanging it beside his trouser. So when I saw him, I said, "Oh, are you also a student in this department?" That was the question I asked him. So I said, "No, he's not a student. He's a lecturer. I just came back from South Africa." And we had just about 10 minutes discussion at the stairway in the department. I didn't forget that location or that point. So that discussion proved to be very significant since December 2014. And I want to say thank you, Dr. Fola Babalola, for this discussion. And that is one of the reasons why I don't always like to turn deaf ear to students, because you can never tell what you're going to say to someone that can make them better in life. In terms of leadership, I also made some attempts. In 2015 was the year of creations. What I call them year of creation is we started different organizations. So we started the Nigeria Society for Environmental Conservation. I received one bizarre WhatsApp message from Akande Ahmed, who is now a doctoral student in Canada. In that case, we're supposed to go to a conference that same year in Ghana, but it clashes with my exam. So I just received a random WhatsApp message, and I was like, the person said, "Oh, my name is Ahmed. We're supposed to go to Ghana together, but you didn't make it." I was like, "Oh, are you sure?" So in my official way, I wouldn't tell lies. So in my official way, I went to the email that was been sent to us, where I can find the names of everybody on that going for that conference. So I found Ahmed's contact. So we became friends. And that was how we began the Nigeria Society for Environmental Conservation. And that was in 2015. By the time I resumed back from my 300 level in the university, not one, Mr. Abdulaziz, he was a senior ahead of us at that time. So he just walked up to our class at 300 level and was like, "We are about to start an association. Is there anybody here willing to join, willing to?" So I just jumped at that opportunity. I was like, "Wow, yes." So, and that's one of the reasons why I have some good friends here too, Shimeba and David Chunowo, because that's like our meeting point. So we started the Uniloran Forestry Student Association, and in 2016, I and other colleagues I was the vice president, and with my president, we registered our LC with International Forestry Student Association, and we hosted the Nigeria Society for Environmental Conservation maiden conference at our university, attracting over 100 students from more than 10 campuses around the country. And as at that time, I never attended the conference myself. In 2017, I attended the Forestry Association of Nigeria conference for the first time in Ibadan. And it was then I discovered that there were very less student population at that conference. So I made an attempt, and I made a presentation during the annual general meeting at the Federal Forestry Research Institute of Nigeria, FRIN in Ibadan, in their conference hall. And I made this presentation on behalf of students, and I called that there should be more coordinated effort for students, and that if there will be a future for the then we need to put students along. So we started the Forestry Student Association of Nigeria. Unfortunately, it's currently moribund at the moment. And from there, we met one professor. I would like to acknowledge him now. It's not Dr. Akindele, it's Professor Akindele S.O. He was one of the people who accepted my presentation at that day at the conference hall of FRIN in Ibadan. I can still remember. And it was like, this is the way to go. Then after then, we went to, in this same 2017, we went to FUTA. And when we went to FUTA, it took us a course on GIS. And just one night, we're discussing, and we're like, "Oh, their university is providing bus to take students to NAM." We're like, "We want to go, but we don't have the money, and we don't have." So he gave us like the open check. He said, "If you are willing to join, they can give us about 2 slots or so." I said, "Oh, why not?" So we jumped at that offer, and we found ourselves in Ghana for the first time. So we bidded to host NAM 2018 in Ilorin. I put another message there. I said, thanks to Ayo, Esther, Ifelu, and Shay. In leadership, sometimes people think we are semi being, or maybe we are someone. Sometimes we also have our own level of sometimes self-rejection, sometimes self-pity, sometimes self-doubt. But I can't forget in Ori that the night when NAM 2017 was to be conducted and the final bidding for the NAM 2018 was to be done, I was like, oh, Ayo, Anessa, why don't you think we should give up this thing? That we already occupied, we have a project to do, we have this and that. So, but they just called me aside. Okay, I think Ayo took that lead. So they called me aside and they were like, oh, no, Alex, let's go and bid for this thing. We can do it. We'll do it together. And we did do it together. So I want to say thank you to them once again because we're able to organize the conference together. So there was one who encouraged me and said, okay, please complete this application. And I did, and we won. In 2018, I hosted the NAM 2018 in the University of Ilorin. We attracted about 100 students and from about 4 countries and also from more than 10 institutions in Nigeria. Also, during this conference, we attracted about 500 students to the opening ceremony. And that year, I wouldn't forget, I was in Abuja and I was planning to apply for the there's a position called in IFSA, we call it Tree News Editor. Tree News is the blog or the magazine aspect of IFSA, and I like writing. And there's this quote from Benjamin Franklin I always have in my head. It says, it's either you do something worth reading or you write something worth doing. So I like writing. But just at the verge of submitting my application, I received a WhatsApp message from a lady from Ghana. Her name is Sarah Sansa. And she was like, oh, Alex, I applied to become a regional rep so that I can work with you. I was like, you didn't tell me this. So she said, don't apply, don't submit the application in your hand. You will have to apply for the regional rep position. I was like, okay, no problem. So I didn't submit the application. It's still on my it's still on my laptop till today. So later on, she said, okay, you can apply. Then later on, I saw an open call and I applied. And I remember it was one day, I think sometimes around December 5 or so. I think it was around December 5, if my brain serves me right. I was at the NYC camp in Akwanga in Nasarawa. I was under a tree around 5 a.m. So I checked my email. So I found an email from George Dennison and it was like, you've been confirmed as the Northern African Regional Representative. And within just few hours, my email was set up and all the rest. So that is how I became a full-fledged IFSA official in 2018. Why I'm trying to endeavor to tell this story is sometimes people think, oh, you can just jump, you can just get some things maybe so easily or just jump at it. No, it takes some time, it takes some accumulation of experiences and the rest. But that does not mean you cannot do it without getting those experiences. In 2019, we conducted the Nigeria study of the global outlook on forest education, where we interviewed graduates and we find out what does it be like. Is their forestry education sufficient enough for their work? And our study found out that for those who find a job, the curriculum seems to be sufficient, but unfortunately, not many students find a job in the forestry sector. And on September 9, 2019, I remember I was in Akwanga that day and I checked through my email. Please, Isaac, if you want to send me a message, you can send me via WhatsApp so I can see. So in 2019, I remember I was at Akwanga that morning and I checked my email. No, I didn't check my email first. It was Ayo. We both applied for this position and Ayo unfortunately did not get it. So when he saw that he did not get it, as a good friend, he just called me immediately, said, Alex, check your email now. Because he knew that, okay, maybe if he didn't get it, maybe I will get it. So, and I checked my email, and lo and behold, September 9, 2019. So I was appointed as the IFSA coordinator for the joint IFRO-IFSA Task Force on Forest Education, which is a very great privilege for me. And I think I'm the first African to hold that position, and it's one of the top positions in IFSA that comes with 2 years of service, and is with one of our major partner in IFSA, the International Union of Forest Research Organization. And this position also gave me the opportunity to accept board to meet many of the IFRO officials and to be one of the board and large board members of IFRO. So I didn't take this opportunity for granted. I want to thank IFSA and thank everybody for this. And in 2020, I started the consultancy as for the Young African Forestry Professionals Publication Project. And I was the NSEC chairman for 6 weeks, where I organized leadership meeting and I called for election. And also in 2020, yes, it was a year of COVID, but I was also appointed a member of the AFWC Working Group on Forest Education and Wildlife Education and Profession in Africa. That is my forestry story a bit. And I'll quickly let Adetula say something, or let me take a break then so that Adetula can say something, then I continue with the rest of the slide. Thank you. Adetula, are you there? Or Mesa?
Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much, Alex. Okay, can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Thank you so much for that inspiring story and for sharing your leadership journey with every one of us here this afternoon. I must say it's really inspiring, and it's really a challenging one. You know, I know it's going to challenge a lot of people here today to do well. Probably as one or two things in mind as far as leadership role is concerned in any capacity in forestry. I know your story is a kind of inspiration for a lot of us today. Okay. Can we hear from Meshach?
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So okay, Laulu, can you mute yourself? All right.
All right.
So it's it's very great to hear from Alex. Okay. One thing we learned from Alex's profile is nothing just happened. Like it's not magic. Success is not magic. Okay. That is in any field, not just limited to forestry alone. These things are not magical. There are specific steps people take gradually in different places that connect the dot together for them to where they are today. And that's very key in the journey of Alex. I must say, I'm fascinated by Alex's profile, and of course, at that time, I said it earlier that Alex is a very excellent guy, and okay, he puts himself in a lot of things, and some of us don't have that grace. So, thanks for that. Thanks for that, Alex. Thanks for that. Okay, so we'd like to move to your take on forestry education in Nigeria and Africa at large. Your take on forestry education in Africa at large.
Okay, thank you very much.
And add this to it. What forestry education mean in the real sense?
Okay, I have them here on the slide. Please, can you see my screen? I want to be sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. To me, what does forestry education mean? When I received this message, I was like, okay, in the real sense. And the question was broke into two: the wrong and the right perspective.
Alex, please, before
Yes.
you move on, can
Yes.
we have Mr. Uyasemota, like is living now. Can we quickly have one or two words from him? I
Yes.
know he is a senior colleague.
Yes, yes.
He led a lot of us this IPSA activity. Uyi is a great man and like very inspiring man. Please, can we hear from you, Mr. Uyi, before you leave?
Hello, guys. Sorry, I'm at the mechanic workshop and I don't know. Hello, Alice. It's nice seeing you guys. And
Yes, I can see you. Thank you, sir.
yeah, thank you for what you are doing. I'm at the mechanic workshop. I'm trying to fix something and I won't be able to talk much. But I just want to encourage every one of you. For the rest that are in the platform that are just joining for the first time, see, for everything that these guys are going to be telling you, adhere to them strictly, ask them questions, ask them their steps. I know most of you are into forestry and it is like you were forced into forestry and you don't know what to make of it. See, forestry is the best profession. As in, whatever you want to make of that statement, make of it. But one thing I can tell you is when you give it your all, Alex is a testimony of, as in, I listen to him sometimes. I just want to smile because I saw him from the beginning. I have been there and I saw him metamorphose from this thing we're telling him, unless you can get here, unless you can do this. This is him telling his story within a short time. So yours can also be the same. Most of us have gone through that point, and we are still going through it. And even in the outside, or maybe one of these days, Alice and Co will still organize something. But we'll not talk about the profession. We're outside there, not from forestry education down to the profession. So you guys are privileged to be listening to this. Many of us did not get the opportunity to listen to things like this. We found it out ourselves. Like Alice, you see at some point, he had to find it out himself or somebody dragging him in and stuff like that. So you guys are at the vantage point right now to listen to what to do with it. And from this point, start making up your mind what you want to do with forestry. Very important. Don't run through it. For me, I was confused for like 2 years. Thank God for Professor Akindele that sat me down one day. That man spent 2 hours with me in his office. I was confused. Throughout 100 level, I was not reading because I hated forestry with a passion. I didn't want to do any. I wanted to go to electronics like Alice that said it was. I was ready for class again. Even if people were going to classes, I was ready for jam. I wanted to migrate. I just wanted to go. But at the end of talking with Professor Kendele for like 2 hours, he said that he was so patient with me. I don't know why he did that at that time. He was so patient and gave me a whole lot of inspiration, which these men, Alex and Co, are trying to give every one of you now on this platform. So get hold of it, ask questions. There are a lot of opportunities. Even if you want to diversify, right now, I left forestry for a while. I think I told Alex, I left forestry for a while to develop a passion I have for agriculture and international development. It was so easy for me to go in because I had a background that exposed me to a whole lot. It was easy for me to go into consultancy in computing and ICT because I had a background. Like I think Alex was telling you about the fact that he taught GIS and stuff like that. So for every one of you things, you have a best course in your hand. There was something that he told me then. He said, after I finished talking, one question he asked me first of all was, what do you want to do with your life? What do you hope to achieve with your life? I gave a whole lot of, those lofty dreams. He told me, son, you have something in your hand you can use to do that. As a forester, you are a versatile person. Especially if you study forestry in Africa. Trust me on this. I think Alex can tell you some of these things. Abroad, they have some of these resources and other stuff. They have some of this numerous stuff, but they streamline themselves into one area. But Africa, they will make it touch everywhere. So you are being given a platform for you to be able to excel. Even if you not decide, I have my colleagues who we study together, who some of them made to one day, they're in the banks and doing very well. Some of them are in different aspects. So if you decide and say that's what you want to do later, it's still worth it. But ensure you put in place what you want to achieve now and follow it to the end. And most importantly, ask questions. See, hold on to people like Alex, people like Yemi, people like Aotula. I think there's one guy I'm missing his name. I don't know if he's here, whether it's Meshach or some. Is it Meshach? Is Meshach here?
Yeah,
Hold on to.
Yes, sir. I'm here, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, Meshach, nice. I'm
Yes,
not
sir.
So please, and please, more importantly, Alex and Co, keep organizing things like this. as many as possible. Keep organizing things like this and start. You can break it down because of network stuff and internet as a whole. People might not want to be able to stay for like 1 hour, as the case may be. Make it short. Make the video. I can see that you guys are recording and it's splendid. People can always edit and go through it later. So thank you guys. I will leave you to continue with your stuff and just do what you are doing. We'll talk much later. Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Mr. Wee.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much for that. I actually love it. Thank you. I remember his face.
Yeah. Back to Alex.
Okay. Okay. I believe you can hear me.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. Mm. Okay. Need to hide this floating meeting country. Yes. I was asked, what does forestry education mean in the right sense, and what are the wrong perspective, and what are the right perspective? The truth is this: when people believe that forestry is a boring subject to study, that is, there's nothing so much exciting about it. And another perception is that it is a field not fit for women. Another perception is that all foresters must plant trees or work in the forest. These perceptions are not right because just like Mr. Ao, you have said, some people are working in bank, some are working in different aspects of life, even far away from forestry. Also, forestry jobs are limited to research and academia. This is far from the truth. And if you are in Nigeria, the next time you go through your street, there's likely a summit not far from your area. If you go there, you will see that there is people who are making money from timber, who are making money from forest, who even never went to school. So you went to school, you are the highest degree, you have degree, you know the best wood, you know the right selection of things, but you want to believe that job is only limited to the research or academia. No, that is not true. The right perspective is that forestry education means any education that introduces the knowledge of forests to its learner. It could be in informal form, it could be at the primary level, secondary level, vocational level, technical level, and as well as tertiary education level up to doctorate. Now, according to FAO, forest education is vital to train a future generation of foresters who will sustainably manage the world forest and the many benefits they provide for people, animals, and the environment. This brings to mind Dr. Amusati O's quote, which he always gives to us when we were starting to study forestry. He said, where there is forest, a forester service is needed. And when there is no forest too, a forester service is always needed. So it's either you have the trees and you want to manage it, or you don't have the trees and you want to plant. So one way or the other, service are always needed at every point in time. Also, on my personal take on forestry education in Nigeria and Africa at large, based on data available, very few students seek to study forestry at tertiary institution level. Then enrollment level is high in some country and low in many others. Two is that finding job in the sector is very limited after graduation, but creation of job is unlimited. I had to add that clause. In many reports you will find on the internet, which I also have researched, it is not easy to find a forestry job after you graduate, but you can still find, you will find, and but the entrepreneurship aspect is something that most of us have not really take a look into. Mr. Awi, whether it's on the platform again or not, he developed a chain of value or value chain businesses, and one of his products is Uyi shea butter or shea butter, where he's selling shea butter packaged well with well design and packaging. This is a form of entrepreneurship. On a personal level, I believe that forestry education curriculums should be revised to meet current employment trend. I remember one of the days in here in Spain, there's a lot of talk on forest fire, forest fire, forest fire. Like from the day one of our lectures till today, we still talk on forest fire. I like forest fire, 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 fire all the time. Then one day, so we went and there was one of the field trip where they told us how they manage or plan against fire or plan even for fire. That okay, how can we make our vegetation suitable? How can we make our land planning suitable to limit the occurrence of fire? And if it's in any case fire comes up, how can we put it under control? So I asked the professor, I said, Prof, you have been taking us around for fire. Won't you take us to firefighters? I want to enter the gate. And so I wanted to enter the gate and see those people that were actually fighting the fire. So I was like, okay, you're talking about fire. And I said, no, that's not their job. That it wouldn't take us there because here in Spain, the foresters take the back seat when the forest start burning. The foresters will do a lot of things in planning, preparation against fire, silvicultural treatment, and many other things. But when the fire is burning, it is another organization that is expected to take that role. So they wouldn't train us on how to start putting out fire from the forest. So that's how they have tried to limit the information or what they are teaching us to what is obtainable in the real world. I mentioned that, however, it can be sufficient. It can, no matter how much we try to review the curriculums, it can never be sufficient to the hundreds of career options in forestry. And that individual career interest differs and available job differs will also determine what is needed. Because everybody, we're talking about let's review the curriculum, let's review the curriculum. Yes, we can review it to add some generic skills to part of the curriculum, but it will never be sufficient. The GIS specialists want you to train more students on GIS. The sociologists want you to train more people on sociology. The wood scientists want you to train more people on wood science. And so everybody has to just find a little bit of their way around it. So the curriculum can never be sufficient to make you a jack of all trade and master of none. And also, I am of the opinion that students need to prioritize self-development in any area that interests you. I have been able to talk to different forestry students around the continent. I've seen people who merge conservation, forestry with art, with writing, with music, with spoken words, and all the rest. So there's nothing that limits us. We can actually merge forestry with anything we want,
No.
or we can take the knowledge from forestry, or we can take the knowledge from forestry and use it elsewhere. There's the valuable opportunities. Oh, someone is talking. Can you mute him? Valuable opportunities forestry education presents to students and graduates. To students can take advantage of numerous opportunities provided by International Forestry Students Association. This include conferences, volunteering and leadership, the international networking, work. Now, there's also work in government, private, international organizations, and non-governmental organizations. But there's a bullet I put here, the hidden forestry opportunities. Most times, many of us don't look at this side of forestry. And baobab is is one of the super fruits of Africa, and a lot of money is being generated from this fruit. And this is an aspect of forestry business. I talk about some hidden forestry opportunities. Why I call them hidden is because not many people consider them, not many people think of them. We have the forest restoration and management effort, and we have seen quite a lot of young people planting a lot of trees, and some getting funding to plant this restoration effort. Then also we need management conservation. We need our national parks. We need our biodiversity to be preserved. These are some aspects of opportunity someone can take into. There's also the forest business and entrepreneurship. Forest forestry students oftentimes don't look at themselves as entrepreneur. But if you do, you may be doing yourself a whole lot of good than you think. I remember they said following us in the University of Ilorin, they graduated in 2019. I wouldn't show any slide proving that. But one of them is Anu Messi. Anu Messi is the CEO and the founder of Messi Sweet Honey. When I was in 500 level, he was in 400 level. I was like, Anu Messi, do you know anybody in Abuja? He said no. I said, okay, maybe you will be the next, maybe you will be the first family member to work in Abuja. He said, no, I'm not working. I'm not going to seek for a job in Abuja. I was like, what do you mean? He said, I'm going to create a business of my own. Today, he has created business of his own, employed people, packaging the product. He has even won grants than myself. And this is just one student out of the many other students in that set who decided to go in the entrepreneurship way. ABK, ABK is also doing well, from honey business to fish business to different kind of businesses. So forest students can tap into these entrepreneurship opportunities and create job for themselves. There's also the research and project execution. There's a lot of work in research, and if you can get funding for them, fine. And you can also execute some projects, as well as there are a lot more. You just need to open your own imaginations. How to position yourself. Sorry, this thing is showing hide floating. Okay. How to position yourself for the right perspective in forest education. You need to be passionate about what you're studying or doing. You need to be determined to be a solution rather than be a problem, and diligently do your work and face your study. As well as you have to be purposeful, hopeful of a brighter future. Nothing comes by chances, nothing comes by just sheer or mere luck. You need to sit down. One of the best advice I always tell forestry students is this: sit back, evaluate which aspects of forestry that interest you, and prepare to take future opportunities in them. One of the people on this platform now is Samuel Ayenleye. Is into wood science and he really likes it. But for me, I'm sorry, I really didn't like it as maybe as a career option. But now we can the preparation we both need are going to be different. So we need to sit down and take a crucial look of what we all want individually. And another thing is you need to decide early, start early, and I can bet you that you can succeed early enough. As someone who has experienced forestry education in Africa and in Europe, the gap I think is that more funding should be made available to tertiary institutions of a forestry program. Mentorship of students should be institutionalized. Then courses on career prospect in forestry should be offered to expose students to possibilities. Unfortunately, we don't oftentimes have these courses embedded in our curriculum in Africa. Then universities should collaborate with governments and private agencies more in active teaching of students. Here we collaborate with a lot of in organizations, and this exposes us to people who are working in the real time, people who are working on the real field, and they're able to share their experience, teach us, and that is coupled with the professors we have in the university. So these are people who are working on the field. When we go for field trip, they talk to us. Yesterday we were on a field trip on Cork, and they were talking to us on, okay, this is how we do this is how we do this. Then we're asking them so many questions. So even if somebody is going to be interested in that field or in that something, because we have been exposed to the right thing, we may be more inclined to do so. Then curriculum should be flexible enough to allow students choose courses they wish to offer. Yes, I know that the human capacity is quite low in African universities, because I can imagine if there are very few professors or very few lecturers to hundreds of students, this may not work. But if we have the opportunity, we can make our curriculum more flexible so students can choose what they think is best for them. And also, students have to take personal development more seriously. Here, you need to apply for different opportunities, different things, and you need to submit your assignment on time, do your work, so without anybody coercing you. So we need to take personal development more seriously. And I think I'll stop at that point. I'll skip this slide. So this is a flashback to 2017. Here is Mesa. I don't know what we're laughing at, but here is the two of us laughing. And I want to thank some of the females. I have so many friends. I have so many people I've served with, but I'll showcase the females who we have served together over the years, starting from Mr. Shumeba, who is here today. In Nigeria, we went to different places, did so many things together. She was my secretary for everything. That's the name I usually prefer to call her. Then Sarah Sansa from Ghana and Juliet from Kenya. Sarah was my co-Northern African regional representative. Juliet is my co-coordinators at the co-coordinator at the Joint Ifrifsa Task Force on Forest Education. She's from Kenya, and I'm very privileged to have worked with some of these brilliant ladies in Africa. Welcome, Dr. Fola. I'll quickly go back to my slide, and I skipped it because of you earlier. Dr. Fola, welcome, and I'll quickly go this. Are you also a department in this department? Was my question to you. And that was the beginning of our student-teacher relationship in 2015. You have since then taken the role of a lecturer, a university advisor, a boss, a referee, and most importantly, a worthy mentor. These are some of the pictures of the things which we have done together. This picture where my mouse is hovering was when you took us first to the University of Ilorin Zoo. I think I was carrying Sammy bag here, and that's mean that I think that was 2015. And the picture above, we organized a workshop on Kobo toolbox and Mendeley at Ibadan. We co-organized this meeting, and he supported me. I'm just a student, and we organized a meeting for even lecturers, doctors, and everybody was surprised. So thank you for believing in me. In this picture, we went for a project on bed and at the University of Ilorin Secondary School. In this other one, we were working on a project on cook stove. In this picture, we took it before we went to Ghana, and that was in 2017. This was the picture myself and other colleagues who went to Ghana took with him. This picture that was like a selfie here was the picture we took when we went to fan conference in Lagos in 2018. And I copied this post from your Facebook page. I will read again back to you. It said, taking some of my students to this year conference with opportunity to network and initiate collaboration is an achievement and a way of building lifetime capacity. So I want to say thank you. We have done so much together, and I could not have wished for support in a better version. I pray for more grace over your life. Some mic is. Adesula, can you? Okay, good. I pray for more grace over your life. I want to say congratulations on your promotion to a reader in the University of Ilorin. Thank you very much, Dr. Fola. And I think I've come to the end of my presentation. Please, there's currently an online submission on forest education going on. Tell us why forestry education is important to you. I'll copy the link and put it in the chat box too. So we can, it's just a 30 seconds video. Just post it on your social media and tag Global Forest Education. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Thank you so much, Alex. Thank you for that presentation. Thank you for sharing your story. And before we, I invite Jumoke to take up the questions that we have for Alex. Jumoke, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. There is only one question for now, so I would like to implore other people who have questions to please drop their questions in the chat. There's a question here from Sam Access. He's asking that what should an undergraduate forestry focus on with the current curriculum? Looking into the current curriculum, many are outdated and not related to the opportunities out there, but only focusing on grades. So what do you advise since they are not learning what is currently trending and it seems like they are far behind compared to other forestry students around the world?
Okay, thank you very much. And actually, we can say, yes, our curriculum are quite maybe old in terms of when they were developed, but that does not mean that they are not relevant again for today, because they are not relevant at all. And our focus in life differs. The university will never force things on you. Even what I mean is this: you may have two perspectives to study. There are I told you of my story when I was in the Federal College of Forestry, Ibadan. My perspective to studying was I want to pass, even if it is a C grade, even if it is a E grade. All I don't want is an F, and I didn't have an F. So I can either choose to study because of the knowledge or because of the grade. But if you can choose to study for the two reasons together, it will make some worthwhile. What I would advise you is to seek for opportunities, volunteering opportunities. You need to volunteer, you need to develop your skills, you need to develop your knowledge. So there are different opportunities available. And it's not just about your grade, it's not just only about your background. And in case you don't know, I'm from a village in Nigeria where you can't, if you search the name of my village, you can't find it on Google Map. So if I can do some of these things which I have mentioned, you can do them nonetheless, no matter where you are studying in the country, because current curriculum, no, there are opportunities. You just need to open your eyes. You just need to open your mind. Open your mind, and once you open your mind, you will see that a lot of opportunities for you. And also, I'm of the opinion that people, in my case, I always tell people, if for me, I'm a Christian, I always advise pray because I believe God. And what God told me in this word is that ask of me, and I will show you great and mighty things which thou knowest not. God can put a topic in your heart that is not even trending as at the time you get it. It may not even be trending, it may not be the it thing at the time where you think of working on it. My own forestry education topics are started as far back as around 2015, but at that time it was not the in thing. Everybody was doing a topic on biomass, on laboratory, on different aspects, but I felt no, I want to focus on the student. And nobody was paying attention at that time. But as of today, I can tell you that there's a global project on forestry education going on. And though I'm not part of the team, but it interests me that what I was thinking about 5 years ago, today in 2021, 2020, those things are coming to shape, are coming to light. So you can never say something is outdated. Nobody can give you a career option. You need to first sit down and think and say, okay, what do I like?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Alex, for that for responding to that question. Before I welcome Dr. Fola, I would like to invite Meshach to first of all send on behalf of our team congratulations to Dr. Fola before we
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Olaluwa, for that. And Alex, thanks a lot for the awesome presentation. You showed us a better direction to even go on the roundtable so that we can be able to harmonize different efforts from different angles. Okay. Congratulations to Dr. Fola. Me, I'm calling him Professor Fola already on the on the promotion. Okay. I will always say this. I think I met Dr. Fola physically just once. That was in Ibadan at the conference where myself, Alex, Laolua, Samuel, and other Unitarian guys were present at the conference. We only greeted each other, he gisted with us and all. But there was a time I wanted to apply to a school in South Africa, and I learned that he is in South Africa. that he knows is he an adjunct lecturer or what? I don't know what they call it specifically, visiting lecturer in that school. And I just messaged him like via email. And it's funny that most lecturers or senior people that we know will not take the conversation to WhatsApp. But Dr. Fola allowed me to take the conversation to WhatsApp. And like it was so interesting. He was doing it like he's a lecturer that lectured me in Futa. Well, he never lectured me. And I got the placement from the supervisor. I was accepted into the department, but I couldn't send I need to do some things, this South Africa certification, SACA. So I couldn't get my SACA done. That was why I couldn't get that admission completely, the full admission then. So that was the only limitation. So since then, I'm always wowed by it. That wow, so somebody could stick his neck. He just told me to send my research proposal and like that, and he reviewed it, and he stood in that gap. All right, I saw it on my dashboard that the admission pulled through, but only to upload SACA certificate. So it's a great thing to know Dr. Fola, and we want to thank Dr. Fola too for his support on the roundtable last year. We thank you for your support. Like even Dr. Fola compensated the organizers of roundtable financially in December. So the organizers of roundtable were able to go home in December with something to at least eat shawarma and all sorts. So we're surprised at those moves. You were not doing it for personal interest. You were not doing it for it was not as if you were showing off. It was genuine. It was very obvious that it was genuine because we didn't ask for it. You only went that mile to do it. And that's a lesson for everyone on this platform, that as you grow, bring other people along. As you grow, be concerned about the growth of others. Go the extra mile. Don't get idea and just move far from people and do as if you were never at their level initially. Dr. Fola has broken barriers and he has taught us that humility is the utmost that we can ever wish for. And we are praying for Dr. Fola that we'll be alive and we'll be here together very soon to celebrate his professorship together in the name of Jesus. So I think as the organizers of Roundtable, myself, Fololowa, Jumoke, Azan, and Ayonle Samuel, we congratulate you, sir, on the promotion, and we love to continue seeing you, sir, and your support. So I'd like Dr. Fola to take over.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me, please?
We can hear
Yes,
you.
sir. We can hear you.
You, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you all so much. I'm very sorry for joining late. I went to a program which is an impromptu and of which I just can't afford to go. I must be there. And immediately I finished there, I said, let me quickly join before the program is over so that I can at least listen to this, my troublesome boy who has eventually break barriers. I congratulate you, Alex, and I
Thank you, sir.
congratulate the entire team for excellent work you have been doing. You guys, you are very great. One thing that I want you to learn in life is wherever you are, just make sure that you prove your best and you do your best. And then you are able to form a kind of good relationship. Relationship matters in whatever you are doing. Relationship matters a lot. Attitude matters a lot. And then whatever you are studying at the university, make sure you are very good at it. I heard about somebody asking about curriculum. I've had a lot of students, many students talking about curriculum in the university is outdated, is not currently, is not fit for the job market. But one thing that normally has is, even if this curriculum is outdated and not up to date, how good are you in that curriculum? That subject that you are saying is not good, do you have A in them? Do you have excellent grade in them? Then is what university is doing currently is just to make sure you have the basics, that you have the foundational knowledge about whatever you are taught. Then at the master's level, you can always now specialize. You can build on on whatever you are taught in the university at the first degree level. So let's just put our mind off that thing we call outdated and not up to date.
So we can't hear Dr. Farrar again.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Design University in Nigeria. It has to
Sorry, hear him any longer. Jumoke, please can you help us with some of the questions?
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, sorry, because I'm driving, I just parked now.
Okay.
Okay, so let me just wrap it up that please just be very good with whatever you are doing right now. Make sure you have good grades that can propel you to wherever you want to go to. Once you are able to have good grades, then other things can follow. So whatever the curriculum is saying in the university now, whatever the program is saying in the university now, make sure you have very good in them. Then you can now have people who can give you good motivation letter, who can give you reference letter, who can direct you, seek for opportunity. With good grade, other things will fall in place. So please, let's have good grades. And I want to appreciate you all. Thank you for the greetings. Thank you for the congratulatory messages I've received from everybody. Is something that I should have gotten about 2 years ago. So it's very sure it will be backdated to 2 years. So that next year we're going to celebrate the full professor. Thank you once again. Alex, congratulate you. Mitchell and the rest of the guys, I congratulate you. Thank you so much for listening to me. Yeah.
Doctor, I'd like to hand over to Jumoke right now. Jumoke, can we have you, please?
I'm here.
And please, I want to crave the indulgence of our audience to wait till we make one big announcement. There's one big announcement we'll be making very soon. And Jumoke, questions. Okay, let's have the questions first.
Okay, all right, thank you. There's another question here from Oluwafemi Abegunde, and he's asking for himself and those interested in sustainable forest management, that how does an undergraduate develop himself or herself in that stead? Because you talked about self-development, Mr. Alex. So he's asking, how does a student, an undergraduate, develop himself in the field of sustainable forest management?
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Oluwafemi Abegunde. As far as sustainable forest management entails, we know it is on 3 pillars: economic, environment, and social responsibilities. I would advise, if you want to work on sustainable forest management, if you can choose all the 3 topics together, but you can choose to specialize in one of them. And most importantly, for me, I'm not a sustainable forest management expert, and I may not be able to say this is the right one. But one thing is self-learning. There's a lot of courses on sustainable forest management online. There's a lot of books that has already been written about that subject. So if you read wide, you will likely get more information. I will put a link to FAO forestry publications where you can get quite a lot of information on sustainable forest management.
Okay, thank you so much, Alex.
Okay.
We have a question.
Yes, there is a question here that for those of us who want to build capacities in forestry and also want to build our CV, how do we go about it?
Okay. In my case, I went through the volunteering route, and one thing is this: you just need to be passionate about what you want to do or what you are doing. I have to be sincere with everybody. I'm not somebody that draws so much of a plan or so much of a goal. I just do what comes to my table, I do it well, and I move on to the next level. That's one of my own view of life. Yes, it's good to draw plan, it's good to have foresight, but there are the little things that come up to your table. Once you miss that chance, you may never get it again. So every little thing, every little opportunity that come to you while you're a student now, you can't be a student twice. Maximize all the things that your studentship offers you. Yes, thankfully, Dr. Fala was able to support me. We were able to go to some conferences together while I'm a student. But I bet you tomorrow, if I go back to Nigeria and I want to go to any conference, I don't expect him to give me more money to say, yeah, let's go to the conference together again. I've passed that stage of being a student or receiving so much support under him. What I'm saying is this: there are so many opportunities that you can. For me, I showed you my story that when we go to the university, there was no student association in our department. We started that. From there, we started another association. From there, I was hosting conference. So I just took them one step at the other. So you don't need to jump at everything at once, just take them one step at a time. So
Thank you.
that
Thank
is my view.
you so much, Alex.
Oh,
Laulua,
Yeah,
a
thank
follow
you.
up, a follow up response to that, to Alex's answer. Okay. When it comes to building CV, okay, you need to be able to separate it. Okay, do I really want to make impact, or I just want to build something in my CV that people could see? Okay, now there are two ways to it: make the impact, then there's another stage to articulating the impact rightly on a CV. Okay. Now, until I met a friend who reviews CV, I didn't know I've done so much in my life because I've contributed to several impactful programs, several impactful, or of course, things that a lot of people do. I led as class rep on campus. All right. That's enough of a CV to build leadership part of it. We volunteer for programs, for lecturers, for conferences, every of these things. We were doing them for fun as students, but we didn't know we're actually building something that is useful. Now, why do they assess CVs? When they assess your CV, it is not really the role or what you do specifically that the people that want to give you probably scholarship and everything or a job they are interested in firstly. It is the kind of value that those things you did built in you. So say you served as a class rep, or you had a health C, or you organized the program and every of these things. What they want to extract from it is, did it build value in you? Did it build grit? Did it build growth? Did it build innovation? Did it build creativity? Did it build resilience? Every of those things, those are the things that they check. Then by the time I rebuilt my CV, I wrote everything all over again and presented it in the better form. I was like, wow, they say CV should be, my CV is up to 4 pages when I have to put everything that I've done on it. So it's paramount that you know what you are aiming at. Be concerned more about the impact instead of just building the CV in the paper for people to see. When you make the impact, someone can easily help you and help you put it together to have something you can present on paper.
Liz, let me quickly
Um,
let me quickly say this. There's a comment from Sam Access, and is more like a question as well. But he's asking that, can this platform create a mentorship network where undergraduates like himself and others can learn directly from great people like Professor Fola and every other guest speakers that we've had here? A mentorship platform.
to that, we have a channel. Mesha, can you quickly respond?
Yes. Okay. I've posted something, a Telegram link, t.me/forestry roundtable. Okay, that's where we want the conversations to continue. That's why we want the conversation to continue. Just join that Telegram channel and you'll be able to relate with whoever you want to relate with directly from that channel. You'll be able to meet with almost anyone that you want to meet with on that channel. So it's a community for forestry students and graduates.
So much. And one of the things we're trying to do is to have a large network where we can treat ourselves and as well answer so many questions in the mind of people. All right. Had a very exciting time, wonderful time with Alex and every other individuals. And okay, March 27, something will be coming up and someone who is very, very important. I would like Jumoke to make that announcement before we continue. Can you please announce our next guest on this program on the 27th of March?
Okay, thank you, Olaoluwa. On the 27th of March, we will be hosting Professor Akindele himself from FUTA. I believe quite a lot of us, or a few of us, number of us are already aware of him and we know who he is. So he will be coming on board on the 27th. He is a father figure in FUTA, in Forestry FUTA, and we all love him for the impact he has made in our lives. I am from FUTA myself, and I know how this man teaches. I know the impact he made. He doesn't see his role as just a mere lecturer, but he sees himself as a mentor, as a guide, as a father figure, and he has been very helpful. And I know that you all are going to learn from him. So come next month, 27th, we'll be bringing him on board to teach us one or two things on forestry. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the announcement. Please anticipate for this event, and when the flyer comes up, it will be when we design the flyer, please kindly share with friends, share with your network, make it good. We can enjoy this wonderful session together. And beyond forestry, we have so much to learn.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Before
for
the
joining
program
us.
ends,
And
hold on.
can we have
Before the program ends, Mr. Alex, Sir Alex said he has an anthem he wants to recite.
Okay, thank you very much. I want to believe if you can see my screen. Can you?
Yes.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, this pledge was written sometimes way back in 2019 when I was invited to speak to forestry students at the Federal University of Agriculture, Makurdi in Benue State. It goes this way: the Nigeria Forestry Student Pledge. I pledge to myself, my family, my country, my profession, I to be a solution and a source of inspiration, to help cherish, protect, and promote Nigeria forests with all my strength, to make a sustainable living out of my forestry education, uphold my honor as a fulfilled, profitable forester, and be a shining example. So help me God. This anthem was dated May 17, 2019. So that is my last thought about this roundtable session. Thank you very much. I thank all the people that we have worked together, all the organizations that have provided me opportunities, Medfor, FAO, IFSA, AIFRO, just to mention a few, Safe Sahara Network. I want to say thank you to everybody. So that is my take.
yeah, thank you so much. Mesha, can we quickly have the acknowledgement from you?
All right. Thanks everyone for being on this. Please, whenever we share information about this, the roundtable, let's share it on our social media platform. Let's let it go all around so that a lot of people can benefit from this. So it's very important. So Alex, we appreciate you. We appreciate everyone, the team, Dr. Fola, everyone. I'm seeing Faith, I'm seeing Esther, I'm seeing Rashid, and everyone, Samasex. We appreciate you for being here. And I must say, Professor Kennedy will be connecting with us from Canada, I think University of Alberta. where he's doing is where is there currently at the moment. Okay, is there currently at the moment. I think as a guest lecturer, a visiting lecturer at the University of Alberta. So we're going to be having him from Canada, and it's going to be a banger. Like somebody said, so it's a banger. So it's going to be a banger. So thank you guys.
Hope to see you next time. Please, we can all right, we can mute ourselves and say hi to one another before we yeah. We can unmute ourselves.
We have not taken a group photograph, I think.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah,
Thank you,
let's
guys.
take a group photograph.
Okay.
Let's take a group photograph.
Okay. Please put on your video.
My face is actually on sabbatical leave.
Hey, Toyosi. All right, please put on your video. Yeah.
Meshach, are you in a tailor's shop?
It's my room.
Come on.
All right, please, everybody say cheese.
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 All right, that's the.
How are you even taking this picture, sir?
Thank you so much.